Hi everyone, Richard here at Calvin Wazoo, where I know you think you're awful square, but you made everyone and you've been everywhere. And it's a weekend spins video, and I did the what I call the Discogs shake. Okay, so you go to your mobile device to your Discogs app, and you go to your collection in the app. And then you give the phone a shake, and then it picks an album, and that's what I did on Saturday night. And it was a good string of recommendations because I continued. There was only one time that it made a recommendation where I said, no, I don't want to listen to that. And that's when it recommended the Woodstock movie soundtrack, the second one, not the album that everybody knows about, that soundtrack, but the other like triple album or something that's got the naked children playing the drums on the stage. That one, no, I didn't want to listen to that. But every other recommendation definitely was fitting in with the mood. And the first one that it recommended for me was this one here, Nirvana Unplugged in New York. Just such a crazy setup on this stage. It was originally released in 1994, and my copy is a remastered reissue from 2013. But yeah, it's, they open up with a track from their first album, which I think was Bleach, because I think Incesticide, that's a comp, I think. I don't have either one of those, but yeah, they've got a couple covers in there. The Man Who Sold the World was a really good one. So yeah, this was a good album to listen to. I haven't listened to it in a long time, and I was kind of in, I don't know, just my mood was quite amorphous, and got a lot of sirens going on out there. But yeah, it was a good record to listen to going into the afternoon, Saturday afternoon, into the evening. So I decided, yeah, I'll give the phone another shake and see what it sends this time. And that was this one here, Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow. This is, the OGs were from 1967, but this is a MoFi 2015. And yeah, it's a 45 RPM. Remaster. It says original master recording. But because, the originals, I always kind of thought, they sounded good, but they didn't sound great, I guess. At least the ones that I've heard. I've never really listened to a true OG. But this was a good one again, for the mood I was in. And the MoFi is good. So Surrealistic Pillow, the first couple albums, well, going up to Bathing at Baxter's, Jefferson Airplane, yeah, was very, well, they were influential, I guess, but when I think of them, it's a band that, there are times when I want to listen to them, but it's not one, nowadays that I necessarily want to put on all the time. But I always enjoy them every time I listen to them. And when, Paul Kantner did that, I think it might have been the first Jefferson's Starship album, Blows Against the Empire. Oh, God, that's fantastic. That's just a truly fantastic record. But then, the Starship, I really wasn't, I wasn't into them after that. The Airplane was, and oh gosh, and then the other side projects like Hot Tuna that they did. But that was really enjoyable listening to that. And White Rabbit's a great song and all that, but there are so many other good songs, on here. She Has Funny Cars. Somebody Love, My Best Friend. Today, I always liked Today. So How Do You Feel? The instrumental Embryonic Journey. And the closer, Plastic Fantastic Lover. Those are all really great songs. So this was a good listen. The next one that the Discogs Shake recommended was this. David Bowie, Diamond Dogs. Again, this is a reissue, a 2017 remaster. The original was released in 1974, which I used to have. Wow, what an album. And then I was reminded of David Bowie played guitars on this, okay? So on the closing of the Sweet Thing reprise, he's just really grinding away on that guitar. It's just, if you listen to that, all that distortion and all that going into the end of the song before they then break into Rebel Rebel, is just, wow. It was just so good. This album tends to, not get, I don't want to say not get a lot of love, but it's not quite as highly regarded as, let's say, Aladdin Sane or Ziggy Stardust, which came just before it. And then you had the Berlin Years coming after that with Low, etc. And this one kind of gets lost. But man, really good record, really good album, really good songs. That to me, there's really not a weak one on here. And then the opening, that opening recitation, where he's, and in the death, as the last few corpses lay rotting on the slimy thoroughfare, the shutters lifted in inches in Temperance Building, high on Poacher's Hill, and red mutant eyes gazed down on Hunger City. No more big wheels. Fleas the size of rats sucked on rats the size of cats, and 10,000 peoploids split into small tribes, coveting the highest of the sterile skyscrapers, like packs of dogs assaulting the glass fronts of Love Me Avenue, ripping and rewrapping mink and shiny silver fox, now leg warmers, family badge of sapphire and cracked emerald, any day now. The year of the Diamond Dogs. Yeah, this ain't rock and roll. This is genocide. Man. Yeah. It was a good evening. So I was really curious to find out what was going to be recommended to me next. And again, it was like I looked at it and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll go that route. And that's this one here. Einsturzende Neubauten. And this is Haus der Luege, which, this is such a great album. It was originally released in 1989. This is a 2010 remastered reissue. German industrial band. The nice thing here is the gatefold has the lyrics and the song titles in German and in English. And So yeah, you've got Haus der Luege, which is House of Lies, and it's with what I usually do with albums that are not sung in English, but they provide English translations. I tend to read the English translations before listening to the song, and then I just listen to the song in its original language. I don't bother, trying to follow the song with the English lyrics because it doesn't work. Okay, it really doesn't work. But yeah, some really great songs on here. Furio and A Chair in Hell. Gosh, it's just the whole prologue. Just it was a very good, solid recommendation again for the mood that was developing. Took me a long time to learn about Einsturzende Neubauten, and I really enjoy everything. And I think this is when I abandoned the Discogs shake, because after listening to this one, I kind of went, I know where I want to go next. And that was here with Aksak Maboul. And this is the album Figures. Now, I was going to listen to another of their records that I have, which I can't recall the name of the album. I mean, I've got it behind me someplace, but when I went to get it, I saw this one, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, I haven't listened to this one in quite a long time. And it's a double album. Avant-garde. You can hear a lot of different musical influence in here, including modern classical, but also influences from Mothers of Invention, particularly around the Uncle Meat era. And yeah, it was a great listen. Don't hear a lot of people talk about Aksak Maboul, and they're really quite amazing musical, not so much a group, I would say, as a project, so to speak. And this is a 2020 release, okay? So they've been around for a really, really long time as well, in various iterations. So I mean, they've got sometimes a feel of, it's almost like chamber music, with bassoons and oboes and but then there's some really good electric guitar and great percussion and just all around very quality vocals. Yeah, Aksak Maboul. If you haven't listened to them, you should. If you, especially if you're a fan of the Mothers of Invention, if you really like what they were doing at that time, what Frank and the Mothers were doing at that time, you really owe yourself the opportunity to listen to Aksak Maboul. Well, after that one, I've been listening to, we're talking 1, 2, 3, that's 5 albums, and that's a double album. So a lot of music listening going on, and I'm sitting there, okay, what is the Discogs shake going to show me this time? And it was this Igor Stravinsky, Petrouchka. This Deutsche Grammaphone release from 1977. And I was like, yeah, okay, we'll listen to this. And this was a good way to end the listening evening. I don't listen to orchestral and classical recordings all that often, so it was good to pull this one out and give it a listen. And the yellow Deutsche Grammaphone label. And yeah, that was a good way to end, because my plan for the rest of the evening was to watch a movie, which I did. And but yeah, those were all really good recommendations. And so if you've never done the Discogs Shake, I mean, you got to have the Discogs app, and of course have your collection entered into Discogs. And then yeah, you just go to your collection. At least with an iPhone, I don't know how it works on Android, but with an iPhone, you just give it a shake, and then it'll randomly select a recommendation. And yeah, sometimes it really, really works. The other thing I think about too is if it makes a recommendation where I'm kind of like, I don't want to listen to that, it kind of gives me an idea. Maybe I should sell that album. Maybe I should just get rid of it. And I'm kind of feeling that way about that Woodstock album. I'm like, I should just give it away, because it's one that you always find in like dollar bins. Even when it's in like mint condition, it's going to be in a dollar bin. So it's not like worth the effort to sell it. So maybe I'll just give it away to somebody. But anyway, there you go. That's my weekend spins using the Discogs Shake to make my music selections. A very enjoyable night. Hey, leave your comments in the down under what you think about these selections that I was listening to, and any others that maybe they made you think of. Give it a thumbs up. Please give it a thumbs up, because that helps with the distribution of the content, even if you're already subscribed. If you're not subscribed, hey, think about it. I'm almost to 1,800 subscribers. Yeah. So, and then you can follow me also on Instagram, where I go by the handle of NewsDude76. That's NEWZDUDE76. And I have a Facebook page called Calvin Wazoo, where I post these videos as well as other music-related videos and content, articles. And then, as always, remember to pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.